Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports Studio. All right, I played Pantera on the Insane Asylum today. And Kenny's like wet because I played Pantera. Pantera does a cover of Cat Scratch Fever. And on the radio on Wednesdays, the whole day is We've Got You Covered Wednesday. See, what we did at the radio station, we teamed up with a local jeweler, a business, who their slogan is, hey, at Wexford Jewelers, we've got you covered. So then they took that and had that company sponsor We've Got You Covered Wednesday. When people call up and say, hey, how about the cover of Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent by Pantera? I'll have you know that one did not come in as a suggestion. I picked it. It's in my playlist. It's good. You can't go wrong with a good cover. Kenny says he heard that because he listens to the radio station. Now, I think just the fact that Kenny is listening to a radio station is kind of a miracle. I don't think Kenny has listened to radio in years. I think probably last time he listened to the radio was when I was on it. I also wish Kenny a happy birthday today. But him listening, I think he kind of hate listens to most of it that's on there because if, it's being played on the radio and it's not one of his stupid scream metal songs, he usually doesn't like it. But I think that we're onto something if we can get someone who's, that hell-bent on hating on radio to listen to it at least. He said, this is actually the best he can do. The best thing he can say about this radio station and this radio show is he'll say all radio sucks, but this, at least it's not boring because it's different, By the way, Donko, it's not really Kenny's birthday. That's an inside joke. I think you knew that. So it's not boring to him. So he says he can tolerate it. So I bust out the Pantera Cat Scratch Fever, and he about loses his shit. Then he sends me an email, something to the effect of Cat Scratch Fever by Pantera is better than the original, better than Ted Nugent. And also he throws in Cats in the Cradle, the old Harry Chapin tune, is better than is made better by Ugly Kid Joe. And he's like, well, that's just stupid. You're a dumb dick is what you are. Kenny points out, I loved hearing Johnny Cash's cover of Rusty Cage afterwards. Right on. Great song. Johnny Cash in the throes of Parkinson's when he made that. Still better than anything else that was made at about the same time. Okay. So I titled the top story here that EZ and his neurological problems. I don't know if that's accurate. I mean, in my brain, I've tried to convince myself that I have ALS. Who in their right mind would actually try to convince themselves that they have ALS? I'm making that sound like it's a good thing. It's not. But that's just because I Googled my symptoms and got in my brain. I talked about it yesterday, the anxious mess that I am, that I'm worried because I have this shooting pain going down from my neck, down my shoulder, through my shoulder, down my arm, ending in my index finger and my thumb. Over time, this has gotten worse. I will say this. Some of you threw out, I might have tech neck from looking, my posture being shit, and it is. I always sit somewhat slumped, round back. Like if I were sitting up straight right now. Oh, did you hear that? That was my back. This is up straight, and it looks as uncomfortable as it feels. I like to be like this, which I'm more comfortable, but that's when I'm in the most pain. When I'm seated here like that, and my hand is on this mouse, like clockwork, numbness, down, oh no, shit, culminating in tingling, pins and needles in my hand. I reached out to, actually, Dr. Jim Barry reached out to me. Now, Dr. Jim Barry, I don't think Dr. Jim Barry is doctor like your general practitioner. Like, I know that a doctor, if you want to be a doctor, after you go 4 years of college and then graduate school and then med school and then residency, I think the earliest you can start practicing is maybe 33, 34 years old. But Dr. Jim Barry, whose credentials include these letters, ATC, comma, SCAT, comma, NREMT, slash, or comma, ITAT, NPI number 12351227889. He has to have some ability. Or is this one of those doctors who basically sends an email to University of Phoenix with a $30,000 check, and he can then add all this nomenclature after his name and call himself a doctor? I don't know. I think that people sometimes are a little too liberal with calling themselves a doctor. I think a doctor should only be a doctor. So, Dr. Jim, you're going to have to let me know what makes you a doctor. Like if I go to a chiropractor and it's Dr. Jim, I'm not going to call him Dr. Jim. I'm going to call him Jim. Jim the chiropractor. Vets sometimes go by doctor. No, you will not. Who else goes by doctor? Oh, dentist. No. Fuck that shit. Doctor is doctor. He writes, get your old ass to the orthopedic. Easy. You don't have ALS. You have SDF. Stubborn dumb fuck. Get yourself to the ortho. Now, he doesn't mean orthodontist. He means orthopedic. And get that wing looked at. Numbness and tingling bad. Don't make me talk to the Queen of the Forest. She and I have a mutual friend from your CMU days named Carrie Dillon. Maiden name Gray. I don't know who the fuck that is. Diana's like 30 years older than me. I don't know who any of you old bastards are. Signed, Dr. Jim. Bob says, the term is to make yourself sound fancy. I'm not a delivery driver. I'm a senior logistics engineering specialist. Oh, okay. I get it. That's kind of like KMK calling herself a scientist, and she actually is a janitor, which is true. She like cleans the Sunoco on the corner, and she calls herself a scientist. Maureen says, watch it with the old cracks, mister. Yeah, I know. I apologize. So honestly, this is like what was once in a while. First, it was no numbness and no tingling. And as I've continued to progress through this disaster, okay, it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And so now, if I barely do anything, I've got lightning shooting down my arm like one of the fucking X-Men and culminating in this crazy numbness in my hands. Holy shit. Nick says, I only trust Dr. Steve. The rest are quacks. That's a good point. I'm glad you mentioned that. I should get Dr. Steve on. Yo, period. Can I call you real quick on my podcast? Period. I have a medical question for you. Period. I'm suffering some discomfort. Period. Dr. Steve is a damn legend. He has a show on Sirius XM. And I think Dr. Steve came to prominence through the Opie and Anthony show. And got pretty famous doing his show with them and still doing well. And he's featured quite a bit in Carl's universe from WATP. But that's a good suggestion there, Nick. I appreciate that. I only trust Dr. Steve. The rest. Now, he is a doctor. Now, Dr. Jim may actually be a doctor, but I just don't know. All I know is next to his name, it doesn't say MD. Ben Glaze is here. He says, Dr. Steve cured Mark Norman's chlamydia multiple times. Oh, God. Okay. He's probably changed his number. Kenny writes, I've experienced lightning shooting down my left leg years back and my right leg last fall, and both times a chiropractor helped completely rid me of that pain and those problems. But hey, you do you. And you keep suffering from SDF. Stupid, dumb fuck. LOL. All right? I will believe that. First of all, you're a liar. Okay? Second of all, if my doctor says to me, you need to go see a chiropractor, I will listen to my doctor. Chiropractor happens only when the doctor prescribes it, in my opinion. Kenny writes, fuck you, I'm not lying. Yesterday, I have a Bosco's Pub update. As I detailed on the show, that on... Monday, it was myself and Big Doug in the kitchen. And Doug has been really, really tense. And he's getting used to, like, snapping at me. And I think he's starting to get comfortable with that. Now, I'm the type that if there's something that goes wrong, if I turn right instead of turn left, and he suddenly freaks out at me, then I'm going to keep messing up because I'm gun shy. So I drop the heel of a bun on the ground and I get a God damn it! And I'm like, so then I'm going to fuck up again. So that's been happening quite a bit. Enough that I'm like, God damn it, I don't know if I want to deal with this anymore. You know, it's not really worth it. Ashley says, you are super shy there. Well, I told you, I'm kind of shy out in the wild. Rebecca says it's like walking on eggshells or Greg shells. More on Greg in a minute. Greg and his day yesterday. Oh, Jesus. I will talk about that. But so I'm there yesterday, and Doug's not in the kitchen. Dougie is in the kitchen. his son. So, he's like Jim's age. And we are crushing it. We're just killing it. And Big Doug comes walking in the back. He's like, hey, you guys need any help here? Nope, we got it, big fella. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then he's walking away, and I go, all right, I got to let him have it. And out loud, I go, Dougie, have you noticed how calm it is back here? And it just seems like it's easier to work back here today because it's so calm. I can't figure it out. So that's my way of saying, what the fuck? From 24 hours earlier. You see, that's the old remember the jersey number. Because if Doug gives me a God damn it and screams in my face the day before, I can't really, I'm not going to compete with that moment of. You got to let him relax and be off guard. And then, whammo, you let him have it right between his fucking eyes on his fat fucking face. So he's walking away, and I go, God, it's so not tense in here for some reason. I can't figure out what's changed or what's missing. And Dougie starts cracking up because he knows I'm rubbing his gorilla face right in his own asshole. And Doug goes, shut the fuck up. And it's like, that's it. I got you. I got you, motherfucker. You thought I was just going to let that slide. There's no fucking way I can let that slide. I don't give a shit what you do. What are you going to do? Pick me up over your head and throw me on the fucking roof? I'm not afraid of you, you dumb fuck. Fuck that shit. It was fantastic. Point EZ all day. Then, for a couple of burgers that we have, we put a onion ring on the burger. There's two burgers that you do that. One is called a Chubb's. The other is called Z's Saloon Burger. And so part of the makeup of the burger has this onion ring on it. It's great. And an order came in with a bunch of those burgers, so we had made special onion rings just for those burgers. And then we usually like to have a few waiting in the wings in case another order comes in. But we knew we were going to be fine because the night was winding down. And so Mr. Control Freak, Dougie and I are in the kitchen just destroying everything. We're just killing it. We're doing awesome. All the food's getting out. Fucking no wait time on these tickets. The servers are so happy. They love us. Everything is humming. It's harmony in the kitchen. And then Gorilla Tits comes walking into the fucking back. And he goes, I noticed you don't have any onion rings for the burgers. And we go, it's cool. We've got all the burgers covered. The onion rings that we needed are already on the burgers. They're going out. They're being served. You only have one left. Yeah, we know. It's cool. Well, I'm going to give me some more and cook them up. Gets some frozen onion rings, puts them in there, sticks them in the fryer. 2 hours later, we've used none of those. They're up there still waiting to be used on burgers. The dinner rush was winding down. We know what the fuck we're doing. It comes time to leave. I'm walking out the door. The untouched onion rings are still on top of the oven. I grab one and I go, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to eat one of these onion rings that we made but didn't need anyway. Thanks a lot. And fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Fuck you! Wah! That's how it goes. That's what I'm dealing with there. All of a sudden. Chris says you kicked Doug square in the plum bag. Ryan says, I want so badly for you to start your own food empire. Mr. Big Frauds, home of the Big Fraud Nasty Burger. If I were to do that, I would open it right next door to Doug's. I would call it Doug Sucks. That's what I would do. Just to annoy the shit out of them. Every day, we're like throwing Molotov cocktails at each other. My God. Honestly, I love those people. I'm just busting balls. But I don't like it when Doug talks to me like that. It's starting to get on my nerves. But the scales balanced yesterday when I embarrassed him with that crack. I can't help myself. I got to do it. Dad joins us in 33 minutes for Dear Meathead. I have next to nothing for questions. Sarah says, Gorilla Tits Express. Perfect. Love that. Send a question along. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on Dear Meathead. He would love to hear from you. And, I don't think I have anything there. Let us discuss a little bit about the Burn King. So, yesterday, the news started rolling in. Hey, Free Bear had a meltdown on the air. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell is going on? We're going to feature this in next week's Who Are These Free Beers segment. Actually, play it with all of the audio needed for it. But in essence, what happened is, in the 7 o'clock hour, he was rude to this new guy, Tommy, about getting callers on the air or something like that, and embarrassed the shit out of him for everybody to hear. And that was stupid. And then like 25 minutes later, he says, all right, when we come back, now you're expecting to hear, we're going to review some TikTok videos, or some people on Reddit need advice, or, whatever shit is going on in that show these days. He goes, when we come back, I'm going to discuss my mental health. Ugh. And he starts that conversation like 3 seconds into it. He starts crying. Though he's saying, my life has never been better now. I have so many good things. Our ratings have never been better. Blah, 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 blah. Which I'm thinking to myself, the tone deafness of that, because so many people don't have that. Now, this is a fucking millionaire talking to you. A millionaire is looking you square in the face saying how great his life is. And it's very simple what happened. The fucking dummy, for some reason, decided to stop taking mental health medication. Now, I don't know what fucking doctor would agree to that, but I've actually been through that myself. It is not recommended. You never stop taking it. Never. It isn't like you suddenly just got better. The brain doesn't work that way. And this son of a bitch has spent numerous shows talking about, ladies and gentlemen, there's help out there for you. You got to take your medicine. You got to go to the counselor. You got to do this. You got to do that. And the idiot doesn't follow his own advice, stops taking the medication, and now he's fucked up. Screams at Tommy, and then somehow he's talking about how it just was weird because he's like, Yeah, all of this has come down on me. It's just been weighing so heavily on me. Oh, what is it? Financial trouble? No, I'm a millionaire. Oh, what is it? Success? Are you losing success in your career? No, our ratings have never been higher. Are you having trouble with the live shows? No, they sell out every time. Well, what seems to be bothering you? Well, I'm losing weight. What? Yes, I've lost weight. I'm healthier now, and my wife has lost weight too. You know, my wife is 21 years younger than me. Okay, what's the problem? I'm cutting back on caffeine. I'm living healthier. It's very stressful. It's causing me to have panic attacks. And everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then the dipshit reveals, I stopped taking Zoloft. So rather than just, taking the Zoloft, Greg has to have this big moment on the air where he's weeping openly to the audience and has to have his gang of mental misfits explain to him, maybe you're taking on too much. What do you mean? Well, you're busy getting rich and having success and losing weight and getting healthier. Maybe see what I mean? It just feels weird. Typically, when someone comes unglued, it might be like going bankrupt. Their career's in the shitter. They've got no money. Their wife hates their guts. Their kid has decided that he wants to start sucking dick. Whatever. You walk in and you see your kid getting one in the ass. Things like that. You stop taking your medication. It just sounded incredibly weak, in my opinion, for this guy to actually be crying on the air at the same time telling the audience about how wealthy and great he is and how strong his success is. I mean, I just picture the average listener who actually is in the throes of anxiety and depression wanting to beat the fuck out of this crybaby as he goes on and on and on about about how he's got the blues because things are so bad. Get the fuck out of here. As usual, you're tone deaf to who your message is actually getting out to. And the piece of shit sycophants that listen to that show are like, they're there. They're there. It's going to be okay. The fuck? Smack the shit out of that fucker. Corey says he's so fucking oblivious. Chris says very pompous. Tyler calls him Greg Free Tears. Chris talks about circling the wagons. Help me. I will say this. It was interesting, which is a lot more than I can be said about the rest of your stupid fucking show. Jesus Christ. I should say Rebecca writes, I tried and it was a big mistake. I think that means taking medicine. Corey said, and even if you do want to stop taking it, it's supposed to be a very slow process of slowly lowering your dosages little by little with frequent checkups with your doctor. Never go cold turkey. He mentioned that. I think he did wean himself off it. But, I mean, fuck that shit. Just take it. I don't understand how he missed the boat on that. I mean, this guy, he has every time somebody like Robin Williams kills himself, they do the mental health show. Fucking Anthony Bourdain kills himself or dies or whatever the fuck. Oh, we got to do a mental health show. Tell everybody to take their medicine. What does this stupid fuck do? He stops taking his medicine and then cries about it on the air. Jesus Christ. Maybe it's the hair. Fucking knock it off. You don't have to bring that to the air. In my opinion, it was a huge misstep of his inability to read the room. Talking about if he had just said, If he didn't have the premise of leading up to it with about how wealthy he is and how great he's doing, he might have had a puncher's chance to actually say something that had a little bit of impact. But that was bullshit in my mind. Corey says not all depression, anxiety meds are the same. What might help one person might set another person completely over the edge. What is the imbalance you're dealing with? Kenny throws a low punch with, imagine that guy being the stepdad of your kids. Chris writes, meanwhile, Kelly is actually going through shit. Oh, my God. That's my friend, Kelly Cheese. You know we're tight now. Ryan says, is tomorrow not a who are these free beers week? Because, damn, I want to hear more commentary from you and Ben. No, you got to wait. You got to wait till next week. That's something to look forward to on a who are these free beers. We will unpack all of that nonsense on next week's show. And I have to stress, I was able to listen and think this is worthy of listen, even though I'm listening to your bullshit and you crying on the radio because whatever, you're fucking weak. It was still engaging. I liked listening to it. But I don't believe a fucking word that guy says. Corey says, huh? I want to hear the Friends with Kelly story. Don't know what you mean. Oh, I know what you mean. What I just said. Yeah, I talked to you about that. I talked to you about how she reached out to me on Messenger. We are tight now. She loves me. She loves me. She loves the support. She supports the show. Everything I say sometimes is hyperbole. Come on. Linda going with, he was covering his ass looking for sympathy after being mean to Tommy. And a lot have said that. And that's what I thought too. Because he snapped at Tommy, embarrassed the shit out of him on the radio. And then when he had the blues and was talking about it 25 minutes later, he's like, oh, this and that and the other thing. I was mean to Tommy. Fucking pussy. My God. All right. For those of you that are watching this catastrophe on Facebook, X, and YouTube, thanks. All right. The rest of it is on Twitch. Download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live. Or if you're on a computer, just go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, and there I am. I've got plenty more show to do. The audio podcast, you can listen whenever you want. Wherever you download shows, just search Eric Zane Show Podcast, and there I am. I had somebody say to me on the Facebook live stream that I do, how can I listen to your whole show audio later in the day? And I appreciate the question, and I provided the information. But in this day and age, do you realize that if I went online and typed anything, I could be actually doing anything with a tutorial in front of my face? If I looked up how to pull a boat motor out of a boat and rebuild it, I could have a complete video of that in about 3 seconds. And if I had a boat motor in front of me, could be working on it in that amount of time. All you have to do is search Eric Zane Show Podcast anywhere, and it will show up. Come on now. The internet is your friend. My Patreon is there for you, and you can try it out for 7 days free. If you like the free show, this one, you have to get the Patreon. And you can try it out for 7 days free. That's how you get Who Are These Zanes, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, Who Are These Free Beers, the Lost Zane recordings, all, and the daily Patreon bonus, all there for free for 7 days for you to try it out. So I make this really easy. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for 7 days. You have to put a payment form in. Then the next thing you do is cancel it. You still get the 7 days. When that ends, you can then decide whether you want to re-sign up and actually pay $5 or $10 a month. I do that so that in case you think it sucks, you don't accidentally get charged for something you don't want. That's because I am fair and just. All right? I'm not trying to trick you into paying something for something that you don't want. And frankly, if you don't like the show, I don't want you around anyway. I don't want you paying attention to it. Okay? So fuck off. Patreon.com/Eric Zane for more information. All right. I'm going to kick those folks that are on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube out. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Dear Meathead, 18 minutes away. Send your questions in on the Shoreliner Striping inbox. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. Ashley got mad at me yesterday. I didn't realize she was serious. But apparently, in the show notes yesterday for the Patreon bonus podcast. Well, by the way, while we were doing that show, she called. And this is like a kid's sister calling. And it's like, oh, fuck. So I'm having a conversation with her, and we're being mean to each other. And she's calling me an idiot, and I'm calling her a fucking jackass and to tell her to go fuck herself. And it's always like that, you know? Then, you know, I hang up on her. And then on the show notes, I wrote an insult. I wrote, Floozy calls the show. And, oh, man, she was pissed. And what'd she write? I thought she was kidding because she's always so fucking hyper. Let's see. Where is it? There was another person on the conversation. I don't even know who the fuck it was. Really? She writes, somebody had sent it to her. Really? Did you call me a floozy? Guess who sent that to me? Asshole. Edit that now. And I don't know who sent it to her. So I wrote, new phone, who dis? And she's still more pissed off. I'm laughing. She wrote, I'm so... Fuck you. I'm so done with you. Oh, my God. I said, you are not. You love me forever. She wrote, I think I'd rather snowball Joe than ever talk to you again. There is a reason you're doing radio for free. You're the worst. And then she wanted to know what date I was going to Berlin Raceway. Why can't you fucking simply say what time and date, you fucking small dick idiot? I wrote, I will be there May 18th. She wrote, I'm blocking you. Good day, Floozy. Signed Floozy, you fucking cunt. And I wrote, and then she wrote, edit that headline. I'm serious. So when she wrote, I'm serious, I was like, oh, shit, she's serious. I didn't know you were serious. So I wrote, oh, shit, okay. And then I wrote, I edited it. I took the floozy part out. I didn't think she was, I mean, I call her some of the nastiest shit ever. Okay? I'm always talking shit about her. So, I mean, something as silly as the term floozy, it doesn't make any sense that you would be so pissed off about that. But I did it because I'm an upstanding individual. And then I guess she was headed over to Shoreliners, so she said, I'm headed over to the Shoreliners to fire you. Because occasionally I'll help Timmy out and work for Timmy. And I wrote, rude. And she wrote, well, you should think before you act. And I wrote, pot, meet kettle, LOL. She wrote, fuck off. And just now, she wrote, "Go fuck yourself, you floozy. Fuck you. Oh, my God. I fucking love you. I love you forever. Oh, my God. Fuck off and die." Ryan writes, "It's impressive, big fraud. The amount of content that you have to edit at the expense of at Hurricane Ashley." Whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want anybody to really be mad. I don't understand what I did. I didn't do anything. How could the word floozy, a silly word from whatever era, make you upset when I call you things like a filthy loser or a dumb skank or what the fuck? What is that even? I would think that all the shit I say right here now that I actually voice is a million times worse than calling you a floozy, you dumb whore. How stupid are you? I just, the floozy it went too far. Fuck you. I love you. Fuck off. Oh my God. I hope you eat a dick. Ugh. I was offended, she writes. Didn't ask for that. I called you as a pal. You are the biggest fuck up. What are you talking about? You called and I said, "Hello, you're on the podcast," to let you know so that you wouldn't say anything to incriminate yourself. And then seconds later, you're losing your fucking mind again. Holy shit. Tyler writes, "Can you imagine if Ashley had just been hired somewhere and they said on her first day, 'We're going to have to let you go. We didn't realize you were a floozy.'" She says, "I just wanted to know what to wear to get my soulmate back." I would say a straight jacket. That would probably go a long way. A straight jacket and a bag over your head. God, you're such a fucking drip. You know that? You're the worst. Go wash a dog in somebody's sink, you stupid fucking soused, sloshed idiot. All right. Dear Meathead, 11 minutes. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Let's see. Nathan has a question. That means officially we have won. It's a good question, though. It might be able to get us through quite a bit of it. So if there's anything at all in your world, like let's say you can think about all of the nonsense about Hurricane Ashley and phrase that into a question to ask my dad. Or you can think about something that I've talked about in the first 50 minutes of this show. That could lead you to a question. Perhaps your kid is doing something that's ridiculous. Or you have an issue at home that is causing some controversy. Or perhaps at work. Send it along in question form. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. By the way, the fact that you would call me with, "Oh my God, what should I wear?" What the fuck? Like, how would I know? Like, I'm going to go, maybe some nice sensible shoes and a pair of slacks and perhaps a pretty blouse. Something a little conservative, though. I mean, how could I come up with anything for you to wear? The most extravagant thing I've worn is a hoodie. What type of dumb twat would call on me to ask me for fashion advice? This just shows how senseless you are. There's so little going on upstairs. Ryan writes, what should I wear? I would recommend clothing, keeping your breasts covered. Molly writes, do we have to send it an email? Yeah, that's the best way for me to see it. Tyler Wright, in Ashley's defense, you usually give off a one of the gals vibe, easy. Yeah, I know that, but not for fashion. It's true, I am one of the girls. All right. Before we continue, I am so not ready for this. Thank you to my friends at Berlin Raceway. Racing going on this weekend. You can get your tickets at berlinraceway.com. We got a fun evening of racing. Tickets are just $14 when you buy them online. Of course, parking is free. 15 and under free. Doesn't get more affordable than this. You can bring in a 12 by 18 cooler. That's going to save you some cash. You can bring your own soft drinks as long as they are not glass. All the beer you can drink on sale in the grandstand, under the grandstand, and they price the beer cheap. They got a great nightclub for afterwards, and that's one of the things I love about the folks over at Berlin. Like, all these people all they want to do is have a few pops and have a good time afterwards, and we're just sending them away to go do that at someplace else. Let's throw in a fireplace, put a stage there for local bands, and build a bar, and voila. Drivers show up there. You can have a few beers with them. You're good to go. Berlin Raceway, online at berlinraceway.com. That is a NASCAR home track, half-mile tri-oval, I guess. Kind of a weird track, but a good time at Berlin Raceway. In fact, I will be there coming up on May 18th. Eric Zane at Berlin Raceway. So make your plans now to join me Saturday at Berlin Raceway. We're all going to sit in one section. Hundreds of podcast listeners. Word on the street is that Ashley is going to be there, which means she's going to be sitting next to like a little kid because it's always mixed company. And probably tell this kid to suck her dick or something like that. There's probably going to be a fight, because Ashley is planning on going. And whatever you do, don't call her a floozy. You can call her a stupid idiot, jackass, fuckface, but you can't call her a floozy. I don't even know what a floozy is. To me, in my mind, a floozy is someone who talks like this. Oh my God, fucking shit. You're such a fuck. So, I mean, I don't know. The shoe fits. Jesus Christ. You could call me a whore, but don't call me a floozy, you fucking cock. I hate you. Fuck off and die. Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. He is working to tune up furnaces as we get set. In fact, I think he's coming to my place before too long. Sometime soon, I got him down here. When's it coming? I don't know. He sent me a text. Reach out to Joe, 616-516-8579. Get started today with a AC tune-up. If you just flip that thing on and haven't had it cleaned in a long time, you're just rolling the dice that something bad is going to happen. It needs to be running efficiently. All that shit that gets sucked into those metal fins on the deal outside of the house. Slow down the airflow. That means your machine has to work harder and longer to cool your home, using more energy. That's more out of your pocketbook. And you're shortening the life of your AC unit because it's working harder for longer. That shortens the lifespan every time it has to click on. 616-516-8579. Take care of it. Have Joe do it for just $79 today. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. The home of show mother Megan. 616-532-6600. I want to make her proud. ervines.com. That's ervines.com. Smack dab in the middle of Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you have any trouble with your car or preventative maintenance you want taken care of, as simple as an oil change, they do it all there at Irvine's, ervines.com. Ask about the rental cars, the loaner cars, I should say, to keep you moving. Thank you so much. And Green Medicine Shop. Can't go another minute without mentioning them. TheGreenMedicineShop.com online. So you like smoking cannabis, but you always have to smoke your pals. You can't go and get it because you're 18 to 21. What a loser. In Michigan, 21 and up can smoke recreational cannabis. However, I have a loophole for you, young stoner. Get your med card from thegreenmedicineshop.com. Then you're legal. Then you go to Green Medicine Shop and you buy your cannabis. Okay? Go to thegreenmedicineshop.com, pay $90. When you buy it there, get your med card there, and everybody's going to get one. You get a $100 in-store credit. So that's sweet. You got an extra $10 in your pocket to pay for gas because you're going to make the trip to Greenville, Michigan to go to Green Medicine Shop. Online at thegreenmedicineshop.com. All right. Sarah has a question. Bree has a question. Tyler has one. Kenny checks in. See if anybody else is telling me to go fuck myself. Looks like things are back to normal. Ashley is say, okay, it's between Ashley and Corey now. They're like fighting. There's something back and forth going on. I see Ashley's throwing out somebody ruined her life. Okay, all right. She writes to Corey, call the police because you're my target now. I will ruin you. How isn't Corey blocked? I shared my story willingly, but fuck off. I don't even know what Corey did. I'm trying to do my show. I can't pay attention to you losers. I have no idea. What the fuck is happening? I think Corey got in the crosshairs. Well, this actually works out because that means I am not in the crosshairs. So I'm not involved. I mean, all I did was called her a floozy, and I took it back. I mean, I deleted it off of the chat, so she's back to loving me. I know that. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Let's bring in Dad for Dear Meathead.
Hello.
Dad, it's Eric. How are you?
Yes, Eric. I'm well. And yourself?
Oh, man. Yeah, we're doing great. Everybody's in a spectacular mood.
How's the rain over there?
It's not raining at all. It's sunny and nice.
It is here, too.
Oh, it's the same way here, but I anticipated,
No rain.
No. Well, you know what they say, Dad? Spring showers, that's a good thing.
yeah. how's it going?
It's going great. Everybody loves you as usual. I hope you have a good start to your day.
I love everybody out there too.
Yes. We've got some controversy on the show.
Uh-oh.
This one
Lay it on me.
this one young lady is furious because someone referred to her publicly as a floozy. Have you?
Floozy.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the term a floozy?
Yeah.
I thought it was the name of a person.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought it was. Yeah, that's why I used it.
No, it's not the name of a person.
What's a floozy? Oh, I think I know what it is.
What is it?
I can't explain what it is.
Brainless.
It's brainless.
Yeah. I think that's about right.
Wow.
Maybe someone with I think a floozy would be described as someone who's kind of like a little ditzy and maybe
Meathead.
a meathead, maybe some loose morals.
Wow. Why do people do that?
Why do people do what?
Call each other names.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that maybe that's the kind of the way they operate. So, are you? Sarah writes, do you think that I should be upset if someone calls me a floozy?
I think you should just tell them that ignorance is bliss. So I'll ignore you.
Yeah, they're just going to ignore you, and then that's the end of it. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go, rather than having some childlike temper tantrum and acting like it's the end of the world.
Sure. But you have to realize something. If someone, did it like a floozy, and you stop to think, are you what they're saying, who cares?
Exactly. Only a person who's...
Go the hell out of them.
I see what you're saying there. Like you just said, if someone did a floozy... Hey, what's up? It's your pal EZ with another amazing partner for the Eric Zane Show podcast, the Eufy Video Lock. Oh my gosh. Smart lock, 2K cam, and doorbell, 3-in-1 triple security. You got everything in one device. All right. Rather than install piecemeal, hoping that you got this app that it's going to work okay and that app. And oh my God. This is not just for security, but also for convenience. No more worrying about losing keys. And you can assign passwords to your family members and see them coming back home via the integrated camera. So, like they all have their codes. They walk up to the door. They punch it in. The door unlocks. In they go. And, of course, it's a video camera, so it's all there. You can see who shows up at your door. This is fantastic. We live in a golden age for home security. And the Eufy Video Lock is the top of the heap, okay? You can go to eufyofficial.com/video lock for more information. This thing is easy to install. The setup, all you need is a Phillips screwdriver, no drilling or anything like that. All the keyless entry components make it so fantastic. 0.3-second fingerprint recognition. Amazing. No battery anxiety. You've got the ultimate, I don't know what it is, super lithium whatever that keeps this thing powered for a long, long time. No monthly fee on this, unlike other brands that do that. They just bend you over and charge you a monthly fee. I love the Eufy Video Lock. Get to eufyofficial.com/video lock. EUFY official.com/video lock. Yeah, I mean, only a weak-minded person would have a problem with that and act like it's the end of the world.
It's just insulting you. That's all what it is. But hell.
But now, hey, look, if your neighbor next door saw Joanne mowing the lawn and said, hey, floozy, you'd probably be pretty upset, wouldn't you?
No.
No?
No.
Joanne, how do you feel about that?
I don't think I'd like it.
You don't like it, but what the hell is she going to do? Go out there and punch him?
I think she will.
Nah.
Nah.
All right.
The that so they'll feel better about themselves.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's why people do that all the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why I'm glad I never talk bad about people.
Yeah, hey. Call me an idiot. I don't care. I know what I am.
I'm usually very sweet and polite, and I never say anything sideways.
No, that's just it. Of course, no one has ever called me anything.
No, but they'd be scared to. They'd be crazy to. You've got old man strength.
You beat him with your cane.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you remember at Grayling when the vehicle got stuck on that guy's property? And,
yeah.
And we were getting it all worked out. The guy was kind of upset, but he was letting us off of his property that we inadvertently wound up on. And right when it was about to cool down, you looked at him holding your cane, and you're pointing the cane at him, and you said, "We don't need a lecture."
Hey, there's someone that gets a hold of my weapon, I'm going to defend that.
Oh, I believe it. I was afraid for the guy. I thought you were going to kill him.
Oh, hey, those days are over for me. I don't get excited.
Oh, I hope not. I hope they're not over. I wanna take you into town just so you can pick a fight with one of the locals.
Oh, you're funny.
Dad, listener Bree writes, what do you think is one of your biggest accomplishments in your life that makes you proud?
That I married my woman.
I knew you were going to say that.
That is it.
Thank you, honey.
What?
She is my biggest gem.
Oh.
You know, I'll say this. Even though there's 90 years of wisdom and knowledge, you always seem so sharp when it comes to charm. And the charm that you exhibit, I mean, people are like butter. They melt when your charms come out.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But that's reality.
Well, that
is reality, believe you me. Just to stand somewhere and insult someone, that's crap.
Yeah, I know it. That's why I never do it.
No.
Nathan wants to know, he writes, Meathead, one of my kids has a friend who comes over, and the kid has body odor, and he smells really bad. What should I do?
The first thing is, you should, before touch the kid, before insult him, before do anything, talk to the parents.
Maybe call him up. So you're suggesting give him a phone call and say, hey, your kid smells bad?
No. Go visit him.
So it's a walk. Hey, I got to have a conversation with you.
Hey, I'd like to talk to you. This is what it is. Now,
wow,
I know you agree with me that kid stinks. Well, not in that sense, but...
No, I like that. I like that. I can imagine you walking up.
This kid has got this bad body odor now. Do you think it's a good thing that you don't take care of that?
Well, I like that first line when you said, I know you agree with me that your kid stinks.
Yeah.
Why don't the friends tell him?
Yeah, I don't know, man. And then there's the idea of, well, okay, if he's just a friend visiting, he's going to leave. Maybe we should let him figure that out on his own.
Well, I don't know, but I would not want to insult him.
How about this? The next time the kid comes over, you put a clothespin on your nose.
Or spray him.
Yeah. You walking around and hey, we got some freebies. Here, take this, and you hand him some deodorant, and then you're spraying some air freshener in the room, and you're opening up all the doors and windows, and you're wearing a COVID mask on your face.
Oh yeah. What causes body odor?
I think most floozies have body odor. And it's
no, that's a nice shower every day and all that is just going to eliminate that. Something is the matter there. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Right. So.
Yeah, what if parents stink too?
Oh, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse. I've never understood how kids don't know that they smell bad, you know?
Oh, I cannot understand.
It seems like a very basic thing that the kids should be aware of. You know?
It's if the kid is insulted, eventually it's going to catch up with him. You know.
Right. All right. Tyler writes this. Dear Meathead, my job has been stressing me out to the point that when I leave the job every day, I'm still stressed at home. Any advice on how to deal with this?
No, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
How does he have stress?
So let's say he's at work and he's behind on his work and the boss is breathing down his neck and on and on and on. And then he goes home and instead of just like wrapping up the day's work, he's like very anxious when he's not at work, when he's at home. He wants to know how he can leave the work stress at work.
Who stresses him at home?
No. What I'm saying is, you know how like if you're at work at Life of Virginia selling insurance, and but you're having a bad week, okay, and then when you leave the job to go home for dinner, you're still all pissed off because of what happened at work. He wants to know how to leave all that at work and then just come home and be in a good mood.
Get a six-pack.
What is it, Joanne?
Get a six-pack.
Yeah, drink.
Get a six-pack.
That's what your dad used to do.
Yes, I know. Well, hell, he wouldn't even come home.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I remember Mom was mad as hell. She's like, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and she's got, Mike Queen, you bring him home right now. You guys are at a bar in Detroit. Yeah, we'll be home later.
Well, hey, that's where your life, you know.
Yeah, whatever. You know that
around.
That was a different way to live. So the advice there is, if you're stressed at work and you don't want to be stressed at home, drink.
Stay at home.
There you go.
Make it last long.
As usual, you've hit it out of the park. I appreciate you guys. Everybody loves you. And, do you have any final thoughts as we wrap up?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. I love the way you handle things.
I love the way you handle things, Dad. I try to take a page out of your book.
You help. You bring up the subject. I can't even think of the subject sometimes. And then I pick it up and we talk, you know. But this is just a small world, and no need to make it any worse than it is.
I think it's great, just as long as you're in it.
Yes. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Okay, I love you guys. Have a good one.
I love you too, honey.
All right, I'll talk to you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There you go, dear Meathead. I don't know. I'm not privy to what's happening on the chat, but it appears there's some anger. We should get both of these people on the line and explain themselves. I don't want to have to read all this shit. Corey, you should email me your phone number, and you and Ashley can fight it out. How does that sound? Brandis says he won't do that. He can't even muster an apology. All right. I'm being advised by several people to not do that. I'm going to take you up on that. I am not going to do that. But I'm seeing numerous comments are saying that this is not good. So I'll let you guys deal with that shit. Palate cleanser. That might be in order. I'm glad I'm not involved.
He's Benny the Wonder Dog, Benny the Wonder Dog, Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. Yeah. Benny the One-Eyed Dog, Benny the One-Eyed Dog, Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. Don't you want him? Say.
I need to bring Gunner in here because he's got new material coming out. From Gunner and the Grizzly Boys and others on a star-studded Eric Zane Show podcast for the 1st of May. He sent me the new song. I haven't yet shared it with you.
Yo.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Never better. Is now a good time?
Yeah, if you can hear me, as long as I got good service, I'll stay right in one place.
Are you farming right now?
Yeah, you can say that.
Did the blossoms emerge appropriately? Was there any cold weather that harmed them, first and foremost?
Oh, we are in great full bloom. Everything's good. I don't think any cold really hurt us. I think we're looking at another whopper crop so far.
Have you ever had a crop that it just fucked? Well, I'm sure it has happened where something goes wrong and everything gets screwed up and the apples are not a whopper crop and you have to like use them for juice and shit.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, right around when you first met me, that was April 27th, 2012, the worst frost in, modern Michigan history.
Oh, no.
At least the 1900s. And that was interesting. That was, you might remember way back when we were like swimming in our pools on St. Patty's Day. It was like 70 degrees for 2 weeks there in March. And I remember partying in Michigan State and kiddie pools and whatnot. And sure enough, the blossoms didn't fare when they went out that early that year.
Did you expect, like when that happened, did you like sense that was coming?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious. And we were pretty nervous this year, too. Just, it was real warm there around the same time and warm all winter. But I think we got by. I mean, we got till May 10th, normally. But
how much money do you think you lost from that?
That was an interesting year because it was a total loss for basically the whole East Coast. And that's like when you have senators showing up. Like there was some dude from Washington that showed up and he was like, yeah, okay, I confirm it's all gone. And I'm like, like farmers have insurance. Of course, it was newer back then.
Right.
I'm like, how the hell do you insure like half the nation's production? He's like, well, it'll work.
Jesus. Well, I'm excited for you. And I have a question already. What is Gunner's favorite kind of apple?
That would be the Honeycrisp.
It's gotta be. I mean, it's like eating candy.
It is. It really is, man. We've, with these few big crops, I just got through my last room of Honeycrisp, and they're still delicious.
How long ago were those picked?
So those would be picked in the fall, but we've never stored them this long, and it worked out.
How can an apple? I mean, how come when they're in my kitchen, in like 2 weeks, there's fruit flies everywhere, and they taste like shit? What have I done wrong?
Well, make sure you're buying Michigan apples.
Yeah.
Don't be buying none of that Washington shit.
Okay.
Because that already took a truck all the way from Washington to here.
Right.
And, you've destroyed the ozone with all that trucking.
Right.
And the apples aren't fresh, and they're stored for a year. But we actually have a pretty natural process here. It was developed in Michigan way back in the 1940s, and it's called controlled atmosphere storage.
So it's temperature and a mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, whatever.
You're exactly right. We have airtight rooms, so the apples will naturally use up the oxygen as they respirate.
Okay.
We will moderate the CO2 that they release, make sure that gets blown out of the room, and bring the oxygen down between 3 to 1%. Keep the CO2 below 2%. And if all goes well, we can store them till now.
Well, that is impressive. Are you impressed that I picked up on the nitrogen oxygen thing?
I'm very impressed. I mean, I'm sure I've given you this spiel 100 times.
You described to me something about Honeycrisp apples that sticks with me. And you said to me, because I asked you why those are so good, and you said, easy. On a cellular level, the regular apple, the cells are a certain size, okay? And in those cells, they contain whatever the sugars and whatnot that make an apple taste the way it tastes. On the Honeycrisp apples, those cells are exponentially larger, which contains a lot more sugar to make them taste the way they do. True?
Exactly. And the crunch. Yes, they have a cell wall thickness that's twice the size of the average apple.
I fucking love that.
That light, airy crisp that you get that just pops right off in your mouth and explodes with sugar and all that yummy goodness. That's the Honeycrisp doing its thing.
Let's see. Sarah says, can the public come by Gunner's Orchard, or is it all market purchase? I think you're all market purchase, right?
Well, you'd be very surprised if you search Gunner on Facebook. I got all the apples the public wants for sale.
Oh, and they can see you too?
Oh, man, I've been selling all sorts of apples. I got apples. I got food-grade barrels, if you'd like some food-grade barrels. I got those big IBC totes, just head on over to the marketplace. We don't have much for a juice market. This is 2 years in a row with whopper crops.
Right.
And so, Gerbers and Indian Summer and River Ridge cider, they can only make so much juice for the public at this time, and they have a lot of it stored up, so it's not moving. So I have what we call seconds, the calls, the bruised, the scratched ones. Those are $65 a box, and then if you're feeding your animals, I got some $40 boxes that they're a little more rotten, but they're good. Come on by.
All right. Now, I was reminded of you because we just played Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog song, and I had a random dude named Mike reach out to me and ask for your stupid fucking hippie song. I just sent him that. These are just short little things. But so I was reminded the real reason why I'm calling, not only to say hello to you, but you have new music out, Gunner.
Exactly. And you notice that release date, I did it on the anniversary. April 27th, that humongous frost. And that song's about that old, from 2012, and Gunner and the Grizzly Boys were just starting out. And what do you think of it?
I love it.
Have you played it for the good folks on the EZ Big Fraud podcast?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it to the... I was waiting, goddammit.
I'm going to hang up.
No, don't do that. I was waiting, and I'm going to add it to this podcast. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to take a leak after we get done, but I'll play it on here. I mean, this is a perfect opportunity. You're here, so I'll play it as soon as I hang up with you, and then away we go.
Well, it's pretty short. It might not even be 3 minutes. I don't know if your prostate can take care of that there.
It's so true. So true. Oh, my God.
Nope. Yep. It's called Tractor. And in quotations, summertime, because that's the hook. We say summertime a whole bunch. But the song, I just love it. The band loves it. It's not just me. We all work our asses off. We all keep our jobs. We all got families. And the music, I just commend me and my band for putting in the extra hours for this music to make it look easy and make it look fun.
Yeah.
Well, we still hold down. We wake up the next morning and fucking work our asses off. And it's not just the farmer in the band. And I know that's the same for all your listeners and the public. I mean, everyone's grinding, and this is kind of the grinding spirit of the Grizzly Boys in that song, Tractor Summertime.
Farmer, lawyer, who else? What are other occupations in the band?
Well, big time head engineer over there to Gentex. That's over your way. I'm sure there's that's a major contributor.
Okay, farmer, lawyer, engineer.
And then Joe is he's always like, he's a big salesman. He does, I don't know who he works for or how he does it, but he's always making big deals in tech marketing and using that Michigan State communications degree to a T. He gets by real good.
I was waiting for you to say prostitute when you talked about him.
Yeah, he should be.
All right. Well, give my best to your lovely wife and squeeze the kids. I love it. If you want to come to a hockey game or there's only playoff games left, but whatever the hell. As always, love you guys, and I'm going to play this song for these folks. Okay.
I'll hit you up for them playoff tickets.
You darn right, buddy. All right. I appreciate
Griffins.
you. Indeed. The playoffs, they got a game tonight.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, thanks for the phone call. And to everyone on the podcast, keep on listening because there ain't no better content on this green earth.
You're the man. I appreciate you, Gunner.
All right, later, dude.
All right, buddy. See ya. All right. That is, it's fun. I love Gunner. How can I get this song to me? Okay. I think I can send it to myself, and then we can take a brief intermission and play it. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I have no clue. All I know is everybody is, it's unanimous. Everybody is mad at Corey. Jesus. What the hell did you do? My God. Let's see. Where is it? I don't know if I can get to this song. I think I can get to it. Come on. Come on. Aha. Nope. Well, that's embarrassing. Okay, I'm downloading it right now. Okay. All right.
I broke a knuckle this morning, hooking up the plow. Don't worry, I can play the guitar. And now I'm riding that furrow, thinking about Nashville, wishing I had the heart. But I can't leave now, there's too much open ground, and the field ain't gonna sow its own. You tell me I'm big star bound, I don't see how, barely getting by here on my own. So I'll take the tractor around one time, write another song to free my mind, and I promise sing them to you one night soon as the crops keep growing and it's summertime. Yeah, I sing a few tunes in a damn good band. Never dreamed I'd ever take it this far. 800 miles in a weekend, bring it back home. Next morning cursing out my alarm. But I can't sleep now, there's too much open ground, and the weeds in need of rounding up. You tell me I'm big star bound, I don't see how. Well, I'm breaking my back in these ruts. So I'll take tractor around one time, write another song to free my mind, and I promise sing them to you one night soon as the crops get growing and it's summertime. Summertime.
Still busted and my boots are worn. Tractor's barely running and my pants are torn. The spring rain's coming and I gotta keep trying till the crops get growing and it's the summertime.
I'll take the tractor around one time, write another song to free my mind, and I promise sing on to you one night soon as the crops get growing and it's summertime.
right. That was nice. Bob says, hey, Siri, next song. Megan says, imagine drinking by a fire in an apple orchard to this. Maureen says, it's got a good beat and you can dance to it. Chris says, the fuck is this? Asshole, I just had the guy on. He's my friend. I love his music. The fuck is wrong with you? All right. Corey writes, I said a dark humor joke about Ashley being a pain in the ass, and they blew up. That's what happened. Yeah, everybody wants to beat your ass. What the hell? Goddamn, Corey, way to go. I need to reach out to Dr. Steve. He says the cell service is shitty, but we're going to try it. Never stopped me before.
Hey, man.
Hey, big fella. How are you?
Good. How are you? Do you want me to call in on landline, or are you okay with this?
I'm fine right now. It sounds fine.
Okay.
First off, what all are you doing? Are you still doing Sirius XM?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm on Sirius XM 103.
Excellent. And
then
you still have your Patreon?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Are we on now?
Yeah, I should have told you that.
Oh, I do not give my permission. No, I'm just kidding.
Unbelievable.
Yes. I have a patreon.com/weird medicine. So, yeah.
All right. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Very good. Patreon.com/weird medicine. This is the world famous Dr. Steve.
That's right. And I do a regular thing for Dave Landau's Normal World as well. So
how about Dave? Salt to the earth right there. I love him.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's right. You guys are from the same state.
Yep.
He's one of my favorite people in the world. He's just a sweet, funny guy.
He visited me on my old school radio show back in the day, and it's just, I mean, it's like I'd known him my whole life. You know, similar sensibilities. And when I had heard the bad things that happened with him and Crowder, or what Crowder did to him, I was like, it's almost sinister. It's almost sounded like human trafficking to me.
Yeah, it was weird, man. When he left Anthony's show, I bought a subscription to Crowder's show just because Dave was going over there. And when I went over there, I was like, wait a minute, they're not letting him talk. They've got all these knuckleheads just, barreling over the top of him. He barely got in a word. And then I hear later that Crowder had this light that was called the Dave light. And whenever that light was on, Dave was not supposed to talk.
What?
And you don't take a comedic, I mean, I consider him a genius. You don't take a genius like that and tell him to shut up. That's
right.
Opposite of the. So the cool thing about Dave, and I know you got other things to talk about, but when I first went on his show, we did a skit called Serial Killer Therapy, and they used it for their Halloween special. Mm-hmm. Now, what comedian or comic or anyone in the industry do you know that would take somebody from the outside like me and make them the first face that you see on the special and the last face that you see on the special? I mean, it's just so unbelievably generous. And I realized he's the only guy in comedy. And listen, I got a bunch of friends in comedy, so I hope they don't get mad at me. But let me put it this way. He has the least amount of narcissism of anybody I know in that business.
And that's a very common thing. It just kind of comes with the territory. Sure, so most people understand that. It's not an insult. It's not an insult. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, you have to be. But he is the least narcissistic comic I've ever met. It's amazing. But anyway.
Real quick, listener in the chat, which is Ben Glaze, who's a fan of yours as well, for many, many years. He says, ask Dr. Steve about Mark Norman's chlamydia.
No. I'm assuming Mark must have talked about it, or I I couldn't, obviously I couldn't say anything. So.
I know, of course not. Of course, I think he just wanted.
Listen to Mark talk about it. I don't know what he said and what he hasn't.
He just wanted to hear you react. He just wanted to hear you go, oh, no, my God.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so let me go over the ground, what do you call it, the symptoms here. I wake up one day and I've got pain in my neck. This is 3 weeks ago. And it didn't go away. And now, especially when I'm seated here looking at a monitor, I have pain that shoots down my shoulder, my right arm, terminating in my index finger and thumb, pins and needles, numbness, and weakness, and it seems to be getting worse.
I already know what you have.
Okay.
Because I have the same thing.
Oh.
But even if I hadn't, that just helps me empathize with you. I would still be able to diagnose this just hearing that.
Yep.
You have what's called a cervical radiculopathy. So this is a different cervix other than, than the female cervix. It's a cervix in this case, meaning the neck. So cervical radiculopathy is a pinched nerve. And so the way I like to explain it is the nerves come out of the spinal cord and they emerge between the vertebral bodies that fit together in a way that makes a hole that these nerves can pass through.
Yeah, that's called a foramen.
That's correct. Very good. Yes. A foramen, but yes, it's just Greek for hole. We have to have a different word for everything. So if I took a needle nose plier and went into your neck and put pressure on that nerve that goes to your index finger, you would feel it in your index finger. That's how this works.
Right.
So the pain is being generated at the foramen at whatever, let me see, that'd be, what's the index finger? C3, C4, C5, C4, I think. I'll have to, my anatomy is a little bit rusty. I had that 40 years ago, but it's one of the cervical nerves is being compressed and it goes to your index finger.
Okay.
So there's a couple of things we could talk about. You could do physical therapy. Someone will probably want to do imaging on you, like an MRI, just to see if it's a disc or is it arthritis. And now if it's a disc and it just gets worse and you start losing function, they can actually go in there and, micro shave that disc down so it stops putting pressure on that nerve root. But sometimes they can just give you a steroid dose pack. And this, if you're not diabetic, this will just go away on its own. If you wear it out long enough, if it's a disc, it'll go away on its own. I was crawling up and down the stairs 2 years ago and because of a disc in my back. Yeah. And I just wore it out and now I'm back to normal.
Wait a minute.
Again.
What do you mean wear it out? What's happening there?
Well, if you have a disc that herniates, that's an acute injury, right? You've got these vertebral bodies and then you've got that are made sort of out of balsa wood. And then between there is a little bag of sort of jelly-like stuff. Yeah. And it's cartilage and jelly and stuff like that. If you put enough axial pressure on that, you can bloop it out. Just like if you had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you press down on it, the innards, will bloop out. Okay, well, that's an acute injury. Over time, the body will repair that. It'll scar down and it may shrink enough that it takes the pressure back off of that nerve. Now, one thing I did for my cervical radiculopathy, which I want you to get checked by your primary care before you do this, is I got a cervical traction device. And I bought it on Amazon. You just, you hang it over your door and you fill it up with water. And then you wear this thing and it takes your chin and the back of your skull and just pulls up on it.
I've seen is it like a Y-strap video?
Yes, kind of. Yes, sort of like that. Right. It goes under the chin and under the back of the head. And then it's just got a weight on a pulley and you put more and more weight on there. Now, let me just tell you one thing. Don't fill it up and then throw the thing over the door because then it'll yank your head off your neck. So don't do that. Follow the instructions.
Yeah, I definitely will. Well, tomorrow is the doctor's appointment. I am going there. And
well, now you can go in and say, hey, doc, I think I have cervical radiculopathy.
Cervical radiculopathy.
Yeah, and let me get the dermatome. Let me find out what nerve that is. I just sound stupid. Any doctor listening to this, but what they have to realize is I normally do hospice. So
right.
So I'm
now. You. How would you describe yourself? Would you describe yourself as a family physician?
Well, that was my original certification. Board certification was in family medicine.
What do you think about chiropractic medicine? Real?
It's fine.
It's fine?
No, is it real? No, it's real. It exists.
Well, what I mean is, some of the people in the chat are saying, don't go to a doctor first, go to a chiropractor first.
Okay.
I think I should go to a doctor first.
So let me tell you, they're not necessarily wrong, but chiropractic's data has shown that their biggest impact is on low back pain rather than neck pain. But, chiropractors, if they stick to what they know, in other words, if they're not giving coffee enemas for cancer and stuff like that, I have no problem with them. A lot of times you find some, and this is true, there's unethical people everywhere, so just be careful, that'll try to get you to pay up front for like 20 visits, and they know you're only going to come to 3 or 4.
Right. I gotcha.
So you want to find somebody that will do fee for service and that they're not being overly, particularly with the neck, you don't want to be cranking people's necks around. Because they've shown that there have been cases of people that had plaques in their arteries in their neck, that when they wank the neck around too vigorously, it actually knocks one of those plaques loose and the patient has a stroke. Now, that is rare, but it is documented. So you want someone that does the gentle kind of chiropractic.
Okay.
And, sticks to their lane and you're good. So I don't have a problem with that. You can do both.
Yeah.
I've got lots of patients that do both. Okay, the index figure is C7. So you can tell your doctor, hey, I think I have a C7 cervical radiculopathy. They'll think you're a genius.
Yes, I will. I'll give that to him. I'll see you tomorrow. Dr.
Okay,
Steve,
man.
as always, you're a pleasure. Patreon.com/Weird Medicine. You can catch him on Sirius XM. Weird Medicine is absolutely a treat. Everybody loves you, and I appreciate your time, okay?
Hey, thanks, man. Call me anytime.
I'll see you at the next show.
All right. Yeah. Are you coming to Las Vegas?
I take it back. I won't see you at the next show.
Okay. I'll see you in August.
All right.
At DabbleCon 2.
Yes. All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right, my friend. All right.
There
care.
you go.
Bye-bye.
That is Dr. Steve. He's an absolute joy. I'm kicking myself because I forgot to mention to him that I diagnosed myself with ALS. That is not true. I do not have ALS. But we have had a star-studded show. You had my father. This is all in the last hour. In the last 42 minutes, I had my father, legend, Joanne, as big of a legend. Gunner from Gunner and the Grizzly Boys with his new song, Tractor. How about that? Dr. Steve comes in and gives some solid advice. All while this audience is fighting. No one's even paying attention to what I say. They do not give a shit about me. If you're listening to the audio podcast, just know that this is what's happening. These long several paragraph long texts to each other. And here's the thing. I have to be absolutely not paying attention to that. And the reason why is because I'll just sit there and read it on the air. And now I am going to go back. And take a look and see what's up. I still haven't been able to piece it together. All I know is that it seems like Corey is against everyone. There's very few people who are agreeing with Corey. So this is just intense. And I appreciate everybody sending, I'm sure, because I'm looking at it. They're saying, I just sent this, I just sent that. Yeah, I can't really get into it now as we're flowing in the show because I'm doing all these things at one time, so I can't really approach it. I just hope that everybody calms down. Badger 7419 says, asshole of the day is chat. I'm even seeing unusual alliances. Like I'm seeing it's like a Marvel movie. It looks like Ben and Ryan and various others are getting together to try to attack Corey, and then from the back of the room, Chris jumps in, and then all of a sudden there's more comments from Sir Bob, and a lot of shut the fuck ups, and a lot of fuck yous, and everybody's mad. And I have tried so hard to give you palate cleansers, and everybody is ignoring that, and all they want to do is fight.
Moneyline Monday.
We got to have another palate cleanser.
It's full of pit that was in Traverse City. That looked like it was it's full of people, and it looked like it was going to tip over, and everybody rushed to help balance the thing. I was reading from the Eric Zane Show podcast, and they had the video. And his quote was, poverty carny ride at Michigan Hillbilly Convention goes bonkers. Dirt people rush to help. Oh, Zane. Every time Eric Zane, it seems like he's going to settle down and just be a good guy. He completely alienates half his audience. It's amazing. On a serious note, how about the people who came and balanced that? Now, I'm not going to jump on these rides at all. You know what I love about carnivals? They're food.
Yes.
I'm not lying. Food and cold beer or cold beverages. But if you're the Eric Zane Show podcast, you can't put as a headline over the video, poverty carny ride at Michigan Hillbilly Convention goes bonkers. Dirt people rush to help. Oh, gosh. I'm not going to stereotype carnies, okay? I'm not going to do that. I applaud the people who just all rush there to balance it, to stop the damn ride and let the people get off before there was tragedy. And the reason we can laugh is that there was no tragedy. And I think Eric should retract his paragraph above the video. Poverty carny ride at Michigan Hillbilly Convention goes bonkers. Dirt people rush to hell.
I need more of these. I got to go back to doing this.
24/7. The podcasts are free at The Huge Show.
TheHugeShow.net. We need to get Bill on here. It's been way too long since this stupid asshole was on the show. I'm out playing golf at Tullymore.
Hey, thanks for calling. This is Bill. I'm not here. Leave your name and number. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Bill, it's easy. For the love of God, call me back. I'm podcasting. Everybody wants to hear your beautiful voice. Okay, bye. Legendary Bill Simonson. Tyler says he has an actual voicemail message now. Exactly. That has never happened before. That is so cool. Okay, look. In the great state of Michigan, the law passed that if you're driving down the road, if you touch your phone, that is illegal. I support that. That is a very dangerous way to drive. I need to learn a lesson, okay? Because that law has not slowed me down. I've written out, I open up Word documents and write all sorts of shit. I do voice to text. I like hold the steering wheel with my knee if I'm driving my truck and I'm typing away. I'm like this as I drive. I'll look at the road for a little bit. Now, if I'm in my wife's car, you hit a button and it keeps the car between the lines. It'll go forever. And then I put it on cruise control and it's even easier. They've made cars perfect for not looking at the road. But it doesn't matter if I have those features on it or not. Like I said, my old truck, it's an antique, for God's sake. Fuck it, I'm just going to look at my phone. So I need to get a ticket in order to get it through my thick fucking asshole head that I'm going to kill somebody. So this is a law. It hasn't been enforced by no one's enforced this yet. And you have to think, how are they going to bust you? Well, this is how they're going to bust you. In Michigan, they just started having undercover patrols. And what they do is, because how often, if I'm driving, looking at my phone, I'm usually traveling very slow, like I like to do. So people are passing me. I usually wait. I'm going to be tough to catch. I usually wait until they're past me. And if there's no one riding up, getting ready to pass me, then I'll do it. But if they're passing me, and I rarely am I looking at my phone because I just feel weird that someone's going to see me do that. So I might be tougher to catch, but not everybody is as great at texting and driving as I am. They don't care who's seeing them text. So now in the state of Michigan, they have a truck that drives around, all right? And you can see, you know how you can see down in a car if the truck's up high enough? And you got a state cop driving and another one who's just looking at people. And if they see it with their eyes, in some cases, they might take a picture of you looking at the fucking phone. And then they back off, they radio ahead, and they say, hey, blue Honda Accord, big nose guy looks like a fucking terrorist. Pull his ass over. He was looking at his phone, driving distracted. Boom, you're fucked. That's happening right now. State, county, and local law enforcement agencies are working together on Operation Ghost Rider. I love that. A program aimed at reducing injuries and deaths caused by distracted driving. So I think I need to make a pact with you. Okay? I need to say that I'm not going to do this anymore. Because I am no better, frankly, than a drunk. Driving drunk on the road. I would argue that the drunk may be driving better than I am. Because my right tires on my truck are significantly worn out more because of the amount of time on rumble strips. In the 150 plus miles it takes to get up north, I would say about 140 of them are rumble strips. Because I'm all over the fucking road. People hate me. I look like I'm intoxicated. Now, this is only when I'm alone. That doesn't make it any better because I'm going to kill someone else. If I happen to be in another vehicle, like let's say Jackie's with me or Madison or Jim or Pooh Bear, and I grab my phone, they beat the shit out of me. I hope that that carries over to them when they're in the car because I think most people, if they're passengers, have a tendency to bust the driver, but then when they get behind the wheel, then they'll do it. Now, all of you who are looking at me with this tisk look on your face, fuck you, because I know you all do it too. Don't act like you don't. There isn't a person in this enjoying this show right now who doesn't do this exact same thing. We all do it. We need, as a group, to be collectively improved. My God. Donut Dan says, you will be okay, Easy. They're only pulling over black folks in this project. I don't know if I can agree with that. Megan says Rumble strips are renamed Zane strips. Young Adam Schwab calls it Operation Revenue Generator. Cole says, so they will use their phone to catch you on your phone. Well, like I said, there's a passenger that's the eyes of this. David in Hudsonville says, I think voice to text would solve the problem. Easy. Never. Because I can't tell you how many times I've said, I've hit voice to text and I want to leave my wife a message. Please pick up a couple of steaks at Meijer. And then 1 minute later, she looks at her phone and it says, I want to fuck you in the ass in the front yard because the goddamn thing is so shitty. Voice to text sucks dick. I hate voice to text. Garbage. My God. So anyway, be careful out there because Operation Ghost Rider is happening right now. Today's haircut day at King's Room Barbershop. I'll be heading over there, and I want you to head there too. Guys and ladies who like short hair, get their hair cut at King's Room Barbershop. 3 locations, Northland Drive, Caledonia, and at 821 36th Street in Wyoming. Go see them. They're awesome. Haircut, $19. And they're the absolute best. I love them so much. Go see my friends at King's Room Barbershop. Their website is kingsroom.net for exact locations and schedules and times that they're open. And please mention EZ when you bang on their door. Head to my Vouch store, combining content creators with small business. Today featuring the Camp Craft Cocktail. It's a jar. Shows up at your house with dried fruit in it. You fill it up with booze. You let it sit in your fridge for a couple days. Now you've got a fruity rum mixer that you can utilize. And boy, does it taste great. You get a lot of booze out of these jars because you can fill them up twice. And it works on 2 fill-ups. So check out Camp Craft Cocktails today. Vouch.store/Eric Zane. Impact Power Sports. They sponsor the studio and they sponsor the show. ImpactPowerSportsMI.com is their website. They're located in Rockford along 14 Mile Road. Check out the fun in store at Impact. Motorcycles, side-by-sides, ATVs, UTVs, e-bikes, zero-turn radius lawnmowers. Those are fun. Yamaha golf carts, all at Impact Power Sports. Van Dyke Mortgage. That is my friend Mario Flores. #1 in the U.S. for a reason. Look it up. The #1 mortgage team in the United States. Most widely used is Van Dyke Mortgage. And now anywhere in the U.S., 231-332-6505. The business is expanding. Mortgages are flying out the door at an alarming rate. Get in yours today, 231-332-6505. As usual, we love Rick at TC Paintball. It won't be long till we announce Paintball War number 25. And if you want to book an event, all you have to do is go to their website, tcpaintballgr.com. All the details on how you can do it, how to reach them, and book. They got a fully stocked pro shop for you. They're so awesome. A great time is had by all at TC Paintball. And finally, last but not least, Frank Fuss from My Policy Shop Insurance. Very, very special to us. Buyinsurancehere.com is the website. Frank can help you with anything insurance related. All you have to do is bend his ear and tell him what's up. Could be life insurance, health care in the marketplace, Medicare, Social Security, and everything Frank does for his clients, is free. He gets paid by insurance companies, and we're lucky to have him. Book an appointment at buyinsurancehere.com. Well, now. Made it through like the champion that I am. Despite whatever that was going on with the audience, I think Corey said something horrible or made a joke that was looked on not favorably and has caused an uproar. There's a real division in the chat. So I could have had the Pope Francis on the air today, and it would have been difficult to avoid that discussion. The asshole of the day is the chat. Thank you to whoever suggested that. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you so very much, and I will be back on Patreon to continue with the broadcast day. All right, folks. Have a good one. Until next time. Bye-bye.